Here's your wrestling news for March 28th, 2022. And your headlines for today include: Triple H is humbled by the tremendous response to his retirement news. I got called into Vince McMahon's office. Alexa Bliss talks about her beef with Ronda Rousey. Becky Lynch was slapped at WWE live event. Xavier Woods' in-ring return was not spelled out internally within WWE. WWE cuts Ronda Rousey botch from Smackdown replays. Fans react on Twitter. Logan Paul training for high-risk top rope moves ahead of WrestleMania 38. Konosuke Takeshita announces his return to AEW. Former WWE star Bo Dallas says he's returning to wrestling soon. Could Hollywood seriously consider Ryback as a comedian? He's worse behind the scenes. AEW star opens up about MJF's backstage behavior, and more. We're kicking off today with Triple H, who announced his retirement last week due to his cardiac event that took place in September 2021. It's now been 3 days since the Game's retirement was confirmed, and Triple H has now issued his first public statement since the news broke. On Twitter, Triple H said he has been truly humbled by all the texts, calls, posts, and kind words he's received, and wanted fans to know how much they all mean to him. Triple H's in-ring career may be over, but the Game remains a fixture of WWE's operations behind the scenes, and we'll have to see what the future holds for the now-retired former World Heavyweight Champion. Ever since Ronda Rousey came to WWE 4 years ago, her name has been a controversial one, with many believing she was taking spots that other superstars deserved more. During her first run with the company, it was reported that talent believed that Rousey was dangerous in the ring, and a new report has come out claiming that Alexa Bliss in particular has issues with the former UFC fighter. Over the weekend, the following was reported on social media. Bliss reportedly disliked Ronda due to her reckless in-ring style causing injuries. The shade thrown at Ronda from Alexa in a group chat with other WWE women confirmed the heat, and the timing did see Bliss miss out on many months of action after getting banged up. That isn't the case, as Bliss has now refuted any claims that she has any problems with Ronda, calling the rumor quite comical and not true. Responding to the rumor that she would badmouth Rousey in a group chat of the women's division, Bliss said she's only in one group chat, and that's the bridal party for her upcoming wedding. Bliss may not have any problem with Rousey, but it's on the record that she suffered back-to-back concussions when working with the former cage fighter, with the first happening at Hell in a Cell 2018. The second concussion was at a subsequent live event, and it forced Bliss to withdraw from competing at the first, and to date, only, all-female WWE pay-per-view, Evolution. Speaking about what happened, Bliss recalled the response to her first concussion, saying, I got called into Vince McMahon's office and he said, we're going to give you time off, we're going to send you to the best doctors, and we're going to figure out what's going on. I want you to rest and recover because we need you to be 100%. I started doing the concussion protocol. Start to go back to work, run the ropes, do the rolls, step by step until you're able to have a match. I'm progressing, I'm doing well, I'll be cleared for Evolution because that was my whole goal, to be cleared for Evolution against Trish Stratus. Stratus, a childhood favorite of Bliss, was set to team with Lita to face Alexa and Mickie James at the pay-per-view until the second concussion derailed those plans. The weekend before Evolution, they wanted me to have a weekend of live events before Evolution. Ronda Rousey and I slipped, crashed, and burned. I was in the training room, my nose was bleeding, I was crying, the doctor said, I think you're concussed. It's like the process starts all over again. The day before Evolution, I was not cleared to be in the match. This is probably the match I was looking forward to the most from the day I started in WWE. I said, I wanted a match with Trish Stratus. It's very heartbreaking when it's out of your control. Bliss wouldn't get her match with Stratus and wouldn't wrestle on TV for months, only returning as part of the Women's Royal Rumble match in January 2019. Despite this, Bliss and Rousey have no beef with each other, despite what false reports claimed last weekend. With Bliss on Raw and Rousey on Smackdown, the pair aren't expected to collide anytime soon, but if they do meet in the ring, there'll be no personal beef, despite what these false rumors have said. Trish Stratus never faced Alexa Bliss one-on-one, but last weekend, the WWE Hall of Famer had a different current star in her crosshairs. At a Toronto live event where Stratus was the host, Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch retained her title against Rhea Ripley, but received a painful-looking slap after the match by Stratus. This slap came after the pair exchanged digs on social media, with Lynch claiming that the only reason she called Trish a legend during her recent interview with Steve Austin was because she was drunk. Speaking of the rattlesnake, Trish also appeared on the Kevin Owens show during the live event, mere days before the prizefighter hosts Austin as his guest at WrestleMania. Stratus and Lynch have never faced one-on-one, but did compete in a tag match during the August 5th, 2019 Raw, where Lynch and Charlotte Flair beat Trish and Natalya via DQ. 6 days later, Trish wrestled her final WWE match against Flair at that year's SummerSlam, but after weeks of back and forth on social media, and now this slap, perhaps the Canadian legend has some stratisfaction left in the tank. On last Friday's Smackdown, King Woods returned to our screens after being kept out of action with an ankle injury. Injured in January this year, Woods' return is a much-needed boost for SmackDown, who are still reeling from Big E's injury, but WWE didn't want anyone to know about the King's in-ring return. While Woods defeated Ridge Holland in seconds on SmackDown, Fightful Select reports that Woods was originally listed internally as accompanying Kofi Kingston, and it was the former WWE champion who was listed to be facing Holland. It appears that WWE didn't want anyone to know that Woods would be wrestling on the show, though we can't rule out that this was a last-minute change to the schedule. Whatever the case, the King of the Ring got some revenge on Ridge Holland, and we'll have to see if the rumored tag match is booked for WrestleMania on this Friday's go-home episode of SmackDown. More from SmackDown, as Ronda Rousey had a promo segment with Charlotte Flair last Friday, but there was a botch by the former UFC fighter. In the promo, Rousey spoke about becoming the SmackDown champion, omitting the word women's, but tried to cover for her mistake by saying that they shouldn't add the term women's to the title. Despite this attempt, Rousey clearly botched the promo, as on Twitter, WWE uploaded the segment but cut the mistake from the SmackDown superstar. Fans haven't been blown away by Rousey's skills on the mic, and whether she wins or loses at WrestleMania, we'll hopefully get some better promos from the baddest woman on the planet. At WrestleMania, Logan Paul will make his in-ring wrestling debut, teaming with The Miz to face Rey and Dominic Mysterio. While he got physical with WWE last year, this will be Paul's first match, but may not be his last if his A-list tag team partner has anything to do with it. On Twitter, a training video was shared of the YouTuber/boxer and The Miz, where the former WWE champion said he not only predicts a win over the Mysterios, but for he and Paul to have a long run as Raw tag team champions. Logan Paul has said that wrestling has come more naturally to him than Bad Bunny, who wowed fans with his in-ring ability at WrestleMania last year, and as part of this year's Men's Royal Rumble match. WrestleMania 38 will see Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro defend against both Alpha Academy and the Street Profits, but whoever walks out of Texas with the belts may soon be facing The Miz and Logan Paul. Time will tell if Logan Paul one day holds championship gold in WWE, but the YouTuber is certainly fully committed to his WrestleMania match. In a different training video on social media, Paul can be seen sailing off the top rope and hitting a splash, and in the caption, Paul promises to fly off the top rope at WrestleMania, and that no one can stop me. In that video, Miz also praises his tag team partner, saying that this is going to be good as the pair clearly fancy their chances against the former SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Paul will be just one celebrity competing this weekend, as Johnny Knoxville will also be wrestling when he takes on Sami Zayn, and it'll be interesting to see which celeb wows fans more with their in-ring ability. Last year, Konosuke Takeshita appeared for AEW, and now the DDT Pro Wrestling star is set to make his return. During last night's DDT event, Takeshita announced that he'll be heading to AEW in April, saying that it'll be a big challenge, but a dream come true. After last competing for AEW in April 2021, Takeshita's return is part of AEW's new partnership with DDT to bring more Japanese talent to the US, and Takeshita will be the first of the stars to make a splash in the West. Now, it's been over 2 years since Bo Dallas last had a match, but the former NXT champion has said he's not done in the ring. Taking part in a virtual signing for Captain's Corner recently, Dallas, now Taylor Rotunda, confirmed he's eyeing up an in-ring return soon, saying that he's far from done. After over a year away from the ring, Dallas was released from WWE in April 2021, ending his 13-year tenure with the company, and it remains to be seen where he will wrestle next. Since leaving WWE in 2016, Ryback Reeves has had a handful of matches, despite promising that he's not done in the wrestling world. Last weekend, the big guy was trending despite his baseless claims of WWE illegally suppressing his account as he insulted Triple H mere hours after the game's retirement announcement. Now, another tweet of his is getting major attention as the former Intercontinental Champion is once again asking fans what he should do next in his wrestling career. While there are options for a WWE return, joining AEW, or appearing for Impact, the vast majority of fans, over 75% in fact, just want to see the big guy never wrestle again. This isn't the first time Ryback has tried to gauge public opinion, as last year he sent out similar polls and claimed that fraudulent votes had made the polls illegitimate until he got the answer he wanted. These desperate bids for attention have come as a source of comic relief, with Mark Henry even calling the former superstar Cryback for his constant complaining about his situation. We predict this will be the first of many polls from Ryback, as while Triple H has been sent countless signs of respect following his retirement announcement, wrestling fans just don't want to see the big guy. And we're ending today with AEW news as MJF has made a name for himself as one of the most loathed names in wrestling. MJF never breaks character on screen or in interviews, and it sounds like the roster don't get a break even when nobody is around to hear the salt of the earth. Speaking to NBC Sports Boston, Wardlow discussed working with his ex-Pinnacle teammate and said how not only is MJF just as bad behind the scenes, but he's even worse. What you see from MJF on TV isn't only MJF behind the scenes, I would dare to say he's worse behind the scenes. So if you think the things he says in front of millions of people are bad, you should hear the things he says in front of a small group of people. So yeah, after traveling for a couple of years with him, I can genuinely say he's not a good person. It's insane some of the things I've witnessed. Wardlow officially severed ties with MJF at Revolution and is now feuding with the Dynamite Diamond ring wearer, who will continue to rile up everyone, no matter if he's on screen or not. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.